Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome to Shit Talk Reviews. If you've been here before, thanks for coming back. And if you haven't been here before, let's hope you stick around for more in the first couple of minutes. What's going on? I'm John. In the room with me, Derek and David J. What's the word, guys? Are you as excited as I am?
Yes.
I'm in love with a malicious intent.
Yes. We got a good album to talk about today. It's Dave's pick. So let us know what we're listening to or talking about.
I'm going to do my best, guys, to make this smooth. Derek's a little testy with me today, and I'm a little nervous. So if I mess up and he yells at me, please just hang in there. Anyway, Ministry. What can I say? From Chicago, I believe they formed in 1981. We all know about the great producer, singer, instrumentalist Al Jorgensen, who is it's Al, and we'll get into Al as this podcast goes. But what I did find interesting, I did not know, there's been 23 former members in this band, guys. 23. That's a lot of guys.
Lots of people in this band.
Lots of people. I don't want to talk about people's personal life. You can always go on and read about it. It makes me a little uncomfortable, but I think we all know about Al Jorgensen's background, his addictions, and probably, I think the break of the band ultimately. And, he had a 20-year addiction that seems like that he's beat. So he's in a good place. This album kicks ass. The band sounds tight, and we're going to talk about this album. So I'm really, really excited. Anyone?
I didn't want to interrupt you.
What's the name of the album?
Yeah. Oh, Derek, you're going to have to help me on this one.
Hopium for the Masses. That's right.
I was waiting.
What's interesting about it is hope is not necessarily the running theme of this record. It is more about talking about political extremes, right? Mm-hmm. And, generally speaking, the right loves, the extreme right is heading towards fascism and the extreme left is anarchy. And while a lot of the work early on with Ministry was more about the less rules and more of an anarchist approach to, writing music, recent years, Al has taken more of a look at, society's push for fascism. And that's not more apparent than with Hopium for the Masses, right through, kicking off with BDE, the big dick energy and overturning of Roe versus Wade and his take on it. Musically, there's some riffs and some chugs on this record. Right. Politically, it is much less to do with anarchy and much more to do with calling out society for what it's trying to do, in his view. And it could be true and it could be not, depending on who you are as a listener. But it is it's an interesting take. And Al is Al. He marches to the beat of his own drum. Mm-hmm. And my understanding is when you do beat addictions, you don't really give a shit what people say or think.
Yep.
Right.
Well, and he, as you said, he's never been one to mince words about anything. And this album is certainly no different. He's got something to say and he says it.
To me, it was like a drop the mic type of song. It was really like him just really releasing, being like, fuck you guys, fuck all you. And man, he just kind of teed off, drops the mic and walks away. It's like, it's really eerie if you really listen to it. And some of the songs, I wrote some lyrics down because it's powerful shit.
With BDE, I was in Washington, D.C. when the news dropped about Roe versus Wade being overturned, and I found it weird because I was in the airport trying to return to Florida, where nobody gave a shit that Roe versus Wade was overturned. But in the airport, there was literally there was a lot of security there, and even in the mall in downtown Washington, D.C. was packed. And I was thinking to myself, are we living in a police state? Well, they knew what was coming down, and that was the reason for the security. And so when you listen to BDE, it does hit home for a lot of people. I think that anytime you touch on a subject of men touching on women's rights and their bodies. It is a dividing subject, but he just put it out there. He said, "This is my opinion on it. This is my viewpoint. Take it or leave it. You can eat my dick."
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
It's pretty. I respect him for that.
Yeah. Musically, it's the whole album, and we can go track to track, which is fine with me. It seems to be a lot of it seems to be a real riff based album.
Yeah.
Al and his guys sat down with I guess that would be, who do we have? John Belcher on keys, Cesar Soto and Monty Pittman on guitars and backing vocals, Roy Matorga on drums, Paul Damura on bass, and of course Al Jorgensen on fucking everything.
Right.
But yeah, it seems like Al sat down with his guitar players and just, wrote a number of these songs based around guitar riffs.
It's funny you say that, John, because after BDE, I checked off Just Stop Oil, and I specifically put on the notes, the fucking riff to start that song off was just incredible. And all the way
Just Stop Oil?
Yeah, which was the second one in. And the riff on that song, the third one, the riff on that song was just insane. To your point,
Well, when we heard the single "Just Stop Oil" a couple of months back when we did the podcast on that, I remember thinking, "Oh shit, this has a real late '80s Ministry vibe to it." For me, it's "Land of Rape and Honey" and "Mind Is a Terrible Thing to Taste." I benchmark all Ministry albums against those two, specifically. The Mind Is a Terrible Thing to Taste. Like that to me is Ministry.
Right.
And we've talked about this, and I agree and don't argue the fact that people can grow and change as an artist or a musician as their career progresses. So the style may change a little bit, and Al certainly does that over the years. I mean, he's got some stuff that is, would be considered more just straight up heavy metal than the industrial metal vibe of Land of Rape and Honey and Mind Is a Terrible Thing to Taste.
Yeah.
And again, that's fine. It's great. Either you don't have to love it, but everybody's certainly welcome to do it. And I think this album illustrates some of those shifts that Al has gone through over the years. I think overall it's got a lot of different styles on it. There's a lot of genre shifting in here. Going back through some of their old albums like Filth Pig, that's like a super sludgy, relatively slow album for Al and Ministry. And this one was interesting because I was waiting to see how much more of the old, the late '80s flavors we were going to get, and I was excited that we got some.
Hey, you guys know Ministry way more probably than I do. I know they've been around forever, and I do know some of their stuff, but don't you think Ministry, and I'm just speaking because just in general, don't you think Ministry's they seem like they've been slighted a little bit as far as ranks among other bands in their genre. It just seems Ministry to me is just like a cheap trick. They got a cult following. They get, they play big gigs, but they're just not where the other bands are that maybe aren't as good as Ministry. At least that's my take on Ministry in general. You agree?
I find that industrial in general is not mainstream. Like some people just find samples and weird synth beats with heavy riffs to be cheesy. I mean, again, it's taste. You have to wonder how much of his weaving of political viewpoints into his music has alienated a good portion of the world.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Because this record is, I have a neighbor across the street that if he heard this, he'd lose his mind.
He'd burn somebody's house down.
He would. I mean,
He's angry, man.
Like goddamn white trash. If he heard it and then read the lyrics, he'd go inside and get a gun and shoot his family as pig. Tear out in his truck with no exhaust and.
Sure.
Throw up alongside the road. I mean, it would be just an absolute disaster for him to listen to goddamn white trash. From a guy with tattoos that has a history of addiction, he'd be like, what the hell? So it's probably that. I mean, let's just be honest. And and industrial's not, as cutting edge. I would say that, Nine Inch Nails was probably the creme de la creme when it comes to industrial
Right.
bands that made it. And a lot of that, I mean, once they hit the perfect drug, they were all pop at that point, or almost pop, bordering on it.
Right.
But it's, look, this is give him credit. It's his drum beat. He's going to say what he says. He's going to do what he does, and whatever's inspiring him musically at the moment, that turns him on, he's going to do it. And kudos to Al that he's at a point in his life where he's alive, and he can write what he wants to write and say what he wants to say. And if you don't like it, tough shit. Sarah and I are going to see them, later this month. We got tickets.
Nice.
Sarah really wanted to go, and I took her back, and she listened to A Mind Is a Terrible Thing to Taste in Psalm 69. And she was like, yeah, we're going. And it's on a Sunday. We've got a babysitter. Hopefully nobody gets sick. And I'm curious to see, this is going to be terrible to say, but I'm curious to watch the reaction to Goddamn White Trash in Florida being played. And kudos to him for coming to coming down to the South and going through these states and singing this song.
That might not be on the set list. That one.
You know what though? To Derek,
but he won't. He won't.
Oh no, he'll play it. He'll play it because he's fucking Al Jorgensen, and he says what he wants to say. And I, respect him for that. He's got bigger balls than I do. But yeah, they bring it live. Not had the pleasure of seeing them live, but the footage I've seen, they get up there. They're a gnarly live band too.
I thought I read this might be, I don't know if I read this right. Maybe I did, but I thought this was it. Like this was the end of this band, but I don't know.
Here's the thing. Yeah. Al, over the career of ministry, Al a number of times has said, this is it. This is going to be the last album, or we're releasing an album next year. That's going to be the last one. Ministry is not, it's just not ministry anymore. Mike, I'm going to butcher his last name. Sakya, I'm not sure. Scaccia, guitar player of his, one of the originals, passed away in 2012. That was the band. It was no more after that. And he's got 16 albums, so 8 more albums after he died. So he has said that a lot. Yeah. And he said the same thing about this one, that they were going to do a follow-up for Hopium, and then that would be the last one. So
okay. Yeah.
I respect him if that's his choice. I sure as hell hope he keeps pumping stuff out though.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
Aryan embarrassment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, as a person, I was thinking about it today while moving furniture around. As a person who had grandparents, and I remember my grandparents talking very vigorously about all their brothers that died in World War II fighting Nazis. And I got to tell you, I have enormous respect for Al calling out Nazism and it still being alive and well, and how it is an embarrassment for white people. It should be an embarrassment. And if it's not, then you need to face the history. You need to come clean with the history, which is the point of that song. And I was blown away by it. And, I was thinking about my grandparents, like somewhere in the nethers, they're going, yes, Al Jorgensen, this dude with addiction is on our side, and it's 2024 and we're still talking about the ripple effects of, World War II. So he's keenly aware and watching what's going on. And I have enormous respect for that.
Yeah. That is track 4, Aryan Embarrassment. Jello Biafra from Dead Kennedys.
Well, John, why don't you do your picks? What were your top songs while you're at it?
Oh, shit. Well, yeah, I certainly will. Jello Biafra from Dead Kennedys sang vocals on that one. And it's got the Jello Biafra signature vibe all over it as a result. Pepper Keenan from Corrosion of Conformity and Down was on Goddamn White Trash.
Yep.
Did a great job there.
Yeah.
Let's see. My top ones, TV song, the 1/6 edition, is a fucking ripper of a track. It is slamming. It's so
Yeah, it
good.
is.
So that's one of my standouts. New Religion, the next track after a TV
Yeah.
song, is another one of my standouts. The establishing guitar riff in it is just fucking cool. Great. Oh, that's right. That's the one that's got some really cool vocal melodies and harmonies that
Yes.
don't feel like they should sit in a Ministry song. They're very up and
It's not pretty.
and light.
Hey, John, let me
Yes.
just stop you in your tracks right there, because this is what I wrote. I basically, it was almost like you wrote it for me. Love the song, love the arrangement. I said the chemistry in the band is unreal, very intense. Even the melodic sounded unreal in a song like this. Had a
Mhm.
Jane's Addiction feel for me. So I'm with you, man. That song was spot on.
Yeah.
What you were feeling, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
As you said, Derek, it's not pretty. Kind of the same thing, a respite. That minute and a half intro. It's calm for a little bit. It's dark
Yeah.
as hell, but it's calm and dare I say soothing.
Right.
Mhm.
And then the
Yeah.
juice comes. They drop in and there's some cool female backing vocals in there. Some cool staccato guitar parts that I was not at all expecting. Very, very cool song. So if I were to pick three, it would probably be those three. TV
Very nice.
song, New Religion, and It's Not Pretty.
Nice. Very good. All good,
Yeah.
Great.
Though there's some gnarly riffs and goddamn white
Yeah.
trash too. What about you
for
guys?
me,
What are your standouts? Yeah.
well, for me, it was New Religion, no doubt. And the other one was Just Stop the Oil. I thought that was a great vibe to the song. The guitar riff was just outstanding. Ton of shit about politics and government and all that stuff. I wrote some lyrics down. I'm not going to read them out, just for me to remind it, just what I was.
It's on
looking at,
Spotify
but-
now. You can go listen.
Exactly. But it was great. I mean, listen to the song, listen to the lyrics. It was very, very intense and very pissed off, and I think it's politics aside, whatever you believe, I think we all feel frustration, and he certainly proved that in that song. So it was great.
Yeah. Derek, what are yours?
Goddamn white trash. I love Just Stop Oil.
He loves it.
Loved it the first
Yeah.
time. The Aryan Embarrassment was just a hit home for me at a very deep level. I loved New Religion. Strange. It was a nice curveball for me. And then It's Not Pretty is just an oddity and in the best way possible for Ministry. It kind of flies against the grain of who they are, and I thought it was a great track. All in all, it's a listening experience, and I felt
very
like
much so.
the album cover felt like a piece of art, and the musical experience and the ebb and flows and the topics that weaved in with an artistic freedom was refreshing. It was refreshing and unconstraining, which was great.
The one
Right.
now you said It's Not Pretty. Sorry, Dave.
No,
Derek, you
sorry.
said It's Not Pretty is the one that seemed not out of place, but the most different for you. For me, Cult of Suffering, the penultimate song, was the one that I wouldn't say it seemed out of place. It was just, it felt very different. It had a swing vibe to it. And, felt like a more simple track by Ministry standards. That to me, again, I like it, but it felt like it was a bit of a departure from the rest of the record. Not that that's necessarily a bad thing.
That song, that feeling for me was Ricky's Hand. To me, it's had nothing to do with the album, and it sounded 80s. Eerily, it was almost very 80s to me.
I said the
It was
same
very
thing.
new wave. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Like an 80s heavy Depeche Mode synth wave.
Right, exactly. Yes.
And no, I don't disagree. That I wouldn't say it felt out of place. It still felt in place. It still felt like Ministry to me. Maybe a little out of context with the rest of the album, and it didn't. That's the one track that didn't really land for me. I don't hate it, but and maybe as I listen to it more, it'll start to click. But it just on first listen, it didn't click with me like the others did.
I felt like Cult of Suffering and Ricky's Hand they just didn't fit the first 7 tracks. Like I really like the first 7 tracks. And then I found myself, the more I listened to it, skipping over the last 2. And that happens.
I'm with you, Derek. I'm right there with you on that. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, do we get down to it?
Who's going to
Do
go
we-
first?
Do we
I
put
wanna
them
go-
on the table? I'll go first. I don't
Go
mind.
ahead, John. You go first. I think I know what you're going here. I think I know
I
where you're
thought-
leaning.
You probably do. I thought the production was great. There's a lot of really trick stuff happening on the record. Some of it a little more obvious than others, but I'm a production junkie and I love all those tricks and they're very cool. It's very well done. The performances are all very tasty. It's different in some regards from other albums that Al and the band have released over the years. But as we've said, bands have the right to grow and change and shift a little bit here and there. And largely, Al has been able to do that while still keeping things pretty much feel like Ministry, which for me is great because I love it. Now, as I said, I benchmark all Ministry I hear gets benchmarked against Mind from '89. So for whatever reason, that one really stuck with me. That said, I vacillated between 8.25 and 8.5, but it's Al, and I respect him, and I love the music he puts out. So I'm going 8.5.
Nice. Very nice. Yeah.
8.5 for me. It's a solid B. I went back, I thought about it. A Mine is a terrible thing to taste is probably a top 20 favorite album of mine all time. So that to me is a perfect 10. And then Solemn 69, I love, and that to me is a 9. And then, I think 8.5 is good. And I always look at Ministry, every album I listen to, it's a B at least every single time, other than my two favorite albums. But, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, right?
That's right. Hey, look, Al could pump out something that is just objectively terrible, and it's still going to be better than 90% of the stuff out there. So
yes,
do with that what
Right.
you will.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Listen, when you talk about Ministry, you're on a scale from 1 to 10. You're already at 7 because it's Ministry, right? So we're in a good spot going in. But I liked it. I really did. I thought the songs were great. I'm a lyrical guy, which was a dream on this album because the lyrics are so powerful, passionate, really. So overall, it was an 8.5 for me. Easy 8.5.
Across the board.
All right. In full agreement.
Yeah, love it. Great album, great pick, and I'm super psyched that Al and the fellas put out another fairly strong record.
Who
And let's
is
hope
up
that.
next?
Oh well, I think it's me. Is it me or is it you, Derek? It's me.
Not you.
Well,
It's you,
this is the
John.
part. This is the part that we're going to cut out because I don't have one pick, Jen. So I will try and have that for you guys in the next day or so.
There's some good ones.
Yeah.
You
Well, thank God for the edit tools.
Well, I will tell you that you might want to check out the new Melvins EP. It's called Tarantula Heart.
Interesting.
I will that's it. I didn't even know. I haven't regrettably haven't had Melvins on my radar for a while now, but thank you for making that selection for me because I was a massive fan of Melvins back in the day and will happily put that on the list. And you just saved me some edit time too.
Well, there's
so
only there's only one song, "Working the Ditch," but we can work our we can work our avenues to get it ahead of time for you.
Nice, beautiful. I'm 100% interested. Melvins, it is.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Well, listen,
right,
you guys
kids.
enjoy your
This was
show.
fun.
You
Yeah.
enjoy the rest of your evenings. Have a great weekend. And to those of you who have stuck around, hit the like and subscribe button.
Oh yes. Oh, John,
one
please,
of
just a
these
quick
days.
shout out to
Yes,
Six, Kate, and your mom. God bless them. Thank you. I can't forget. Can't forget our top three fans.
They might be coming down, so you might have an opportunity to meet them. I don't know that they want to meet any of us.
Wouldn't that be
but
great if we
be
could
an
get them on this?
opportunity for you to meet them?
How about a special guest? Like get them on the podcast. We'll give them like 15 seconds to just put the headphones on, say hello, and boom, they go.
Well, if I tell you what, if I can get the three of them in a room together, we'll have. You know
that
what?
would
We'll
be
have
epic.
them. We'll have them record a shit talk promo.
That would be beautiful.
Oh shit! All right. Well, listen.
Can I do a quick shout out too?
Yes.
Sure, go ahead.
Kristen
Absolutely.
Torres. Nuclear blast. Thank you.
Yeah.
You are the best, and we appreciate.
Yes, thank you.
And we hope that this podcast makes its way to Al and turns 3 people on to ministry.
That's
so
right.
thank you for your help.
Well, at the very least, Kristen, you will have turned on my my mother, at least one, if not both of my sisters, and everybody's favorite 6.
Yes.
So thank
we
you.
all
Yeah,
love
thank you,
6.
Kristen, for sure. All right, gentlemen, have a great one. Always good
Thank
to
you,
do this,
John.
and we'll do it again soon.
Take care, guys. Stay hard.
Stay hard.